All right. We are live. Yes. All right, it's working. All right, welcome in everybody. Thank you for showing up tonight. We are going to be live stacking the universe tonight. We're going to start off just by star walking. What that means to me is we're just going to be using the Sky Atlas here on this ASI Air, and we're just going to be looking around the universe, kind of connecting the dots as we go along the universe, looking at nebulae, galaxy, and stuff like that. So I got a mirage of stuff here to make this happen. This is my first time doing this on YouTube live, so just bear with me and we'll get it going. I got everything aligned. The telescope is polar aligned, it's focused, and just as I tested out this live stack, some clouds came in, but nevertheless the clouds have cleared and we should be able to start stacking right now. And I'll have just some examples of what we're using. This is the ASI Air from ZWO. This is currently the computer that we're using right here. And let's get it rocking and rolling. So we're going to be looking at Orion's Nebula and the Running Man Nebula. And let's get this going. All right, so right there it is on the screen here. This is a 5-second image of the nebula. But what we're going to do is we're going to do some live stacking. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2-minute images. It's going to take itself and then it's going to stack itself and stack itself and stack itself, and hopefully it'll come up with this nice cool image, and we'll do that for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll zoom around the universe and look for some more targets. So if you have any questions, I need to put my glasses on. Goklar, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Welcome in, and if you have any questions, just ask and I'll periodically check the chat. But here we go. And I got to change screens here so I can see what's going on. All right. Let's see. It should have changed screens already. I'm trying to figure out why the screen hasn't changed. Oops. Come back. All right, so forgive me here. I'm trying to figure out why this is not, what happened to my screen here. All right, I think this is what I need here. Nope. Sorry, y'all. It's already having a little bit of issues here. Let me get my view squared away again here. I'm not sure what kicked me off here, but let me get this back the way I had it before. Okay, that's the way it's supposed to be. All right, so I think that's good. I think we're going to be golden here. And we should be able to start see. It's got to, this thing is delayed just a minute, so I got to check and make sure the view is good before I continue. There we go. Yep. Okay, the view is back to where it's supposed to be. Now I know what not to press. Sorry about that, y'all. All right, so here we go. We're going to start a live stack of, and I'm using this Visor free app for some reason. I'm not sure why it keeps doing that, but I guess every time that we move around, it's going to cause that issue. But anyway, nonetheless, here we go. We're going to start this live stack here. We just go over here and hit this live button. And we're going to do 2-minute images. That's usually pretty good. All right. And here we go. So we're going to sit here and just kind of look at the screen here, and what's going to happen is in the next 2 minutes we should get a nice cool image coming in. But to kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at, this is Orion's belt right here, and you got I don't know how to pronounce some of these stars, but Mintaka, Allium, and Alnitak. And Alnitak is a really, really bright star inside the Horsehead Nebula here and the Flame Nebula. And we're just kind of looking at this, and we'll go look. We'll take a picture of this when we're done. But right now we're just waiting on that 2 minutes to go by. And as long as we don't hit this go-to feature or sync feature, you can always exit back out on this screen here, and it will it'll just go back to where you were before, and you can see the timer still counting down. We got 52 more seconds left, and then that 2-minute image will appear on the screen. So we can zoom this in a little bit. And now keep in mind that we are using OCAL's H2. It's a brand new fast telescope. It's a speed of f2.72, and in the realms of Newtonian telescopes and fast telescopes, it's one of the fastest out there, other than like a RASA telescope with f2.2, or you take an Edge HD, a Celestron Edge HD telescope, and put a hyperstar on the front, and it'll make it into like a 1.9. Not a huge difference, but there is a difference there. But about 6 more seconds left, and we'll see this new image come up. And down here at the bottom, it says it's shooting the image, so it's capturing the image, and we're using a 6200 MC Pro, a ZWO ASI 6200 MC Pro. And what that means is it's a professional camera, it's an astronomy camera, it's cooled, but it's also very big, large pixels, not pixels, megabytes. So it's a 119 megabyte file. So it's going to take just a minute for it to process it over my slow internet and send it into this box here, so it'll stack. So there's your first image, right? It's coming up there, and what it's going to do is it's going to take another 2-minute image, and it's going to stack it on top of that. And when that happens, hopefully you'll start to see an increase in the structure inside of the nebula here, inside the I think it's called the trapezium here. And you're going to have to forgive me on the orientation of how this is sitting, because I don't want to go out there and adjust the way that we've got it framed up, because everything is flipped depending upon what type of telescope you're using. But one of the cool features of this telescope is it's got these spider veins in the front of the telescope where the secondary mirror is, and it has a metal frame like an X, and that's why you have these diffraction spikes on this star right here. Some people like them, some people don't. I think they're pretty cool. Okay, so here it comes. There we go. Now look at that. So now we have, now that is pretty daggum amazing. Look at that. Wow, that is cool. All right, so now what we have here is a stacked image. Let's it's got one stacked image. So there's basically two images stacked on top of each other. So that's 4 minutes of data, of exposure time here. And look at the dusty lanes here. This is the Running Man Nebula right here. And this is the Orion Nebula. And inside of this amazing nebula is a stellar nursery where stars are born. And forgive me why this thing keeps popping up. I just figured out how to use it, so I don't know if it's going to continue to pop up, but Visor is the app that allows me to take my iPad and stream it into OBS software. I don't know of any other way to do it. If somebody knows, please put it down in the chat and let me know so I can do something better. But man, this thing is cooking. It's looking good. Speaking of that, If you like what we do here on this channel, please like and subscribe. Smash that like button down below. It really helps out the algorithm and helps this channel grow. Above us is the M33 triangustan image that I took. I just put it up there for show and tell. And of course, any and all of your telescope needs, please visit astroworldtelescopes.com. It's just Dan is a great individual. He'll help you do anything. He'll help you get what you need. And the advice that he has of the years and years of telescope stuff is just amazing. And they also have a show every Wednesday and Friday at 8 p.m. It's called Astro World TV. And you can log on and ask questions, hang out in the chat, or even join their Discord. And that will allow you to, every other Friday, join a live Zoom meeting where we all get and hang out and talk shop. It's really cool because I learned a lot, and I've learned a lot of processing and telescope information just from this group of people. Great group of people. All right, so let's look at the Running Man Nebula a little closer. And if you will bear with me, I will Google it and we'll get some information on the Running Man Nebula here. I can tell you that it is NGC 1975. But other than that, I'd have to go to my trusty Google here and pull up the information and tell me what it says. And what old trusty Google says is it is a hydrogen alpha region and bright nebulae. It includes a reflection nebula. It's located in the constellation of Orion, in which we showed that earlier. It is, let's see, the distance is 1,500 light years from Earth. So it's really far away, and it looks pretty cool once the images are stacked and stacked and stacked, especially this little gaseous dusty cloud nebula inside of this whole thing here. It's really cool looking. So let's see here. Looks like it was cataloged as Orion 1C in 1966 by Vandenberg. Sorry, I'll probably get people's names wrong here tonight, but I apologize. Let's see here. Metro, you imaging Jupiter? Is that? It's hard for me to see what's on there. If I got that right, Mitch. Thanks for stopping by. Probably not going to do Jupiter tonight. We're just going to hit some nebula and maybe some galaxies. But right now I have the scope set up directly out my window here, and I've just figured out how to do this remotely. So where the scope is at, everything on the other side of everything on this side of Orion, like Jupiter, we probably could see Jupiter because it's probably above the tree because it's right there. We might be able to see that, but we're going to check out the Rosette Nebula, which is right there. There's a bunch of stuff around this area, and there's also, before the full moon comes out, we might be able to get the boogeyman to show up. We'll see. But let's take a little bit closer look here at the Orion Nebula. That's just really crazy amazing on how that looks. Looks like we've got 3 stacked images. Again, we're doing 2-minute images. So 2, 4, 6. There's 6 minutes of data. 6 minutes of exposure here. And you can only imagine if you do this for 2, 3, 4, or even 40 hours, all of this data that's in here just comes to life, and it's just beautiful when you can process all that. Jupiter, the other day I was going to do Jupiter. I did do a live stack of Jupiter, but it was just a quick short, and then I had some gear issues. I just got, for my C14, I just got the Prima Luce Labs Sesto Senso 3 installed, and I'm having a hard time getting it to operate on ASCOM. I can't get it to connect. It will connect to SharpCap, but I can't get it to focus, do any of the automatic stuff. So last night I was out there for, I don't know, an hour and a half, and it was 20 degrees, and I literally came inside and my hands were frozen, and I stuck them all over my wife, and I was like, hey, let's get warmed up here. She, don't do that. What scope? I was using the C14. Tonight I'm using the OCAL H2. And that, if you want to know what it looks like, it's what's on the live stream thumbnail. That's the OCAL H2. Oh, the Optec, yeah, focuser. I need to branch out and try a couple different things. But again, we're doing some live stacking here of some nebula. We're going to do what I call star walking around the universe tonight for whatever's available in my backyard. If you have something that you want to see, maybe put it in the chat and I'll see if I can find it if it's in my field of view. But we'll probably spend 10 minutes or so on each area so you can kind of see what's going on. And earlier, for those of who were here earlier, and we had that star spike. Now look at it, it's getting more well defined. It's getting really well defined here just because of the exposure time. But one bad thing to notice about exposure time, and right here we have a satellite trail, or not a satellite, but a plane, it's like a plane maybe going by. But the brighter an object is, and the longer you expose it for, you can mess up all your photos. So this 2-minute photo with this very fast scope in the end is going to be a horrible idea because this trapezium area, I believe is what it's called, is blown out. It's too bright. The core is just too bright. So maybe you would want to do 60 seconds or even 30 seconds. And what I did fail to mention is that we are using IDAS's MBZ2 nebula booster filter. And it's got an HA and O3 filter in there that lets us filter in that information. Oh yeah, Mitch originally from Florence. That's right up the street, maybe an hour away. They got like 8 inches of snow the other day, and we got like 6. There's still some out there. But I want to say thank you to everyone who's stopped by and hanging out. I really appreciate this. I really enjoy doing this. If you're ever in the area of the State Museum in South Carolina, stop by, and every month I go up there on the second Saturday, I believe it is, and I'm a volunteer educator in their Boeing Observatory, and I help teach astronomy and solar astronomy and solar astrophotography to kids and adults and whoever wants to come by there. So stop by if you have a chance. Check the place out, and hopefully I'll be there and you'll get to see me in person. All right. So there is. I'm gonna put this down here so those of you who want to take a screenshot, if you're on a mobile device or not, you can have a really cool picture there. Let me move the cursor out of the way, and we'll let this go until the next image rolls around, because that's 10 minutes. It'll be 12 minutes, so in 80 seconds or so we'll let this one stack. Good evening, Gary. Welcome in. We'll let this one stack, so then we'll move on to the next target in the sky. And let me give you some information on. Stand by. I'm just. I don't have all this knowledge written down. A couple years ago when I first started this, I had a notebook printed out. My wife had this little spreadsheet, and I was able to just kind of spit that information out. But now I have to Google everything while we do it, and that's why I call this channel. It's a learning channel. You need to do some streaming. Yeah, I need to too. I'm trying to get the hours up on the channel, and it's a crazy thing. The watch hours, are like a moving target, and we've had so many of them. It just keeps moving, and we're just so close to finally getting that last bit of piece of what we need, and that's why I'm gonna start doing some more live streaming, but also because it's fun and it's also interesting to try to improve my teaching skills. But let me Google the Orion Nebula. And it says it's M42. It's a massive bright emission nebula. So what that means is, if you don't know what an emission nebula is or a reflection nebula is, don't worry, because we're going to explain it. Inside of this massive nebula, which is 13 to 1500 light years away from Earth, inside of here, it's a stellar nursery. So there's a bunch of hot young stars, and it's just really hot and glowing, and it just ignites the gases around it, and it emits so much energy. It's basically lighting itself up, so it has its own light. A reflection nebula, imagine having a sheet in front of you and putting a flashlight behind it. So the sheet is the nebula. There's no stars in it, so it's not going to glow by itself. You turn the light on behind you and it lights it up. That's a reflection nebula. So that hot star that's in the back is shining on it. And it's difficult to try to image when there's a full moon out when you have a reflection nebula, because that bright moon kind of messes up and takes away and drowns out the view of that. Good evening, Brian Holder. Welcome in. Welcome in, Ernie 270, Mitch, Gary. Thank you all for stopping by. And so that's the difference between emission and reflection nebula. And looks like we have a satellite that just flew through. Ooh, look at that. Yes, we did. All right, so let's move on. So everybody's happy with that image. And look at those stars. Look at that star field. That star field looks really, really cool. Maybe one of these days we'll go asteroid hunting and maybe there'll be an asteroid in there. All right, so that's the Orion Nebula right here, and the Running Man Nebula. We'll get one last, another image just came in 1 second, so let it do its stacking. There's the Running Man Nebula, and there's another satellite trail, and in this particular area, for whatever reason, there's multiple satellites everywhere, and it's difficult to take an image because there's always satellites all over your image. But that's the Running Man Nebula. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop the live stack, and we're going to locate our next target. And I'm looking out this way because out this way is where the trees are, and I'm trying to judge how high up in the sky everything is. So we have something really close by. It's called the Horsehead and Flame Nebula, and we're going to check that out. But I tell you what, maybe, just maybe, we can look at, I think, yep, here it is. Here it is. Let's look and see if this will come out. Let's just try it. Let's try this. Let's see if we can get the, I think this is going to be the Boogeyman Nebula. So what I did is I just hit the go to button, and now the scope, I wish I had a camera on it, the scope moved over to what we're looking at. So the red box is where we want to look, and the blue box is the actual camera. So now it's trying to lock on and plate solve it so it knows where in space it is. And that's what it's trying to do right here. It's trying to validate it. And once it validates, we can move on, and it'll come up with a small picture, and then we'll see if it comes out. If it doesn't come out, then what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the Horsehead. But I want to show you this Boogeyman real quick. Let's just see. Okay, yep, so it took it, and inside this is really cool. That's Bernard's Loop. So here we go. Let's go over to, let's go to a preview first. Let's get us a preview. Let's get a 30-second preview going here. Sorry, I had a little gnat flying around in here. Rawr. All right, this is Ernie that hangs out. Oh, all right, Ernie. Welcome in, and thank you for hanging out. It's a pleasure to have everyone here. Thanks for stopping by. Just doing some live stacking of the universe tonight. So doing a quick 30-second picture. We got 6 seconds left on. Hopefully what's going to show up is the Boogeyman and a little bit of Barnard's Loop. If this works, we'll just do this for 10 minutes, and then we'll move over to the Horsehead and Flame Nebula. I want to be able to try to catch the targets and work my way back away from the meridian, because I don't want to have to go through a meridian flip during this process. Ooh, well, I see a little bit of Barnard's Loop, or Barnard's Loop, however you want to pronounce it. It's come on now. There it goes. So you can see this red hydrogen alpha layer here. That's Barnard's Loop, and right here you can just barely see it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick live stack so you can see the Boogeyman Nebula up close and personal. So here let's I'm pretty sure I have it on the right one just by visual. So we're going to give that a shot. Let's do 2 minutes as before. We're going to hit the save button and go. All right, so here we go. We're stacking, hopefully, what's going to turn out to be the Boogeyman Nebula. And again, if you like what we do here, please smash that like button, subscribe, and even share the live stream if you like. That'd be awesome. At the end of this, I didn't hit the save button, but what I can do is on the last target, maybe on the Horsehead, and we'll do something else, I'll keep those frames and I'll produce it'll just be a quick picture. It won't be a dynamic photo like this galaxy up here, but it'll be a good picture you can print off and keep if you want it, or be some practice data for you, because it'll only be like 15 to 20 minutes of data. But I'll save it, and after the live stream is over, and maybe tomorrow, I'll upload it in the description of the video, kind of like I do with my solar live streams. Don't forget that on my solar live streams, you can go into the description of the video and hit the link to my Google Drive, and there should be some data from that day that we did that's in there, and you can practice with it if you want. All right, 40 seconds. 40 seconds to go. And we're going to look at the Boogeyman Nebula. So give me 1 second as I kill the typing. I'm one finger type. The Boogeyman Nebula is LDN 1622. It is a dark molecular cloud in the constellation Orion, and it's positioned near Barnard's Loop, which you saw that. It's wrong cursor. It's right here. This Barnard's Loop is right here. It's just a piece of it, and it is roughly around 500 light years from Earth. And it should be stacking in the next. There should be an image coming through the next 100 seconds, because it's got one, but it's got to have one more just to stack. So we'll give it just another shot, and okay, yep, it's still going. I had a looked like I had a connection error. Okay, what I'm shooting with. All right, so we are using 6200 ASI 6200 MC Pro with a IDAS NBZ 2. The Nebula Booster is the second version of it. I would love to do some mono stuff like this, but I don't have a filter wheel. And if I could figure out if I could get one and do that, I would. I have it, and I just updated Stella Vita's new app, and it looks really cool. And I have everything ready to go to do a night out with Stella Vita. But I also just bought a brand new Zeus from Dayscopes, so I have it in the box up on the shelf. And I haven't even hooked it up yet. I want to do that and test it out and do that, but I want to be able to try that and see what happens. Ooh, there it is. It's popping through. It's popping through just barely in 2 minutes. And this is a, excuse me, it's a more of a difficult target to get, especially when there's a full moon out. The moon's not up yet, but if the moon were out, probably wouldn't get this. but you can just see the outline of the boogeyman's head right here, the arms and the little tail that it's kind of like a little ghost figure going up. But you can just barely see it right there. So okay, it's settling. I was like, let's not take any more pictures. But so when the mount is settling for the guiding, it doesn't take a picture. So give it just another minute. We'll get a couple more images in there, and then we'll move on to the horse head. But this is a really cool image. And as you can see, Bernard's loop is coming into play here. And this is just a really huge, almost like a ring, outlier ring of hydrogen alpha gas, as you can see right here. It's just goes up and surrounds the Orion Nebula. It's hard to see, but it's up here, goes all the way around, comes back around. It's just this huge object. It's just really cool. I'll call them objects. But it's just a big hydrogen alpha. And there's probably some oxygen out there too, but there's a nice little cool star field right there. All right, it's trying to load up an image now. And you can see we got 2 satellite trails going through there, just right there. But we've got about another 60 seconds or so, and then, so it came up with just another one, and it's even a little bit more defined now. You can kind of start to see the darker nebula inside here. Like, you can't really see the stars poking through, but you can see the outline of the hydrogen alpha gas. And I did a 4-hour or 8-hour image of this. I have it, and I processed it, and it's a really nice image. I just haven't done my video on it yet. I've got like 10 videos I need to process and put out. But it's a really cool looking. You should shoot with HA. I can't see that. Oh, you could shoot with HA with such a bright. Yes, that's correct. With mono and just doing HA, yeah, I do that all the time. With my RASA, it's really easy to do with the RASA, but I haven't had a chance to do that yet with this scope. Now that I have the full frame mono camera, I can't wait to try it out. I can't wait. And I want to try everybody's talking about the Rave of the 585. I want to try that camera, and we'll see how that goes with this particular scope and on the C14. But I have the man, that stupid gnat. I have the Ioptron CEM70G mount, and its max capacity is 70 pounds, but it's a center balanced load, so technically you can put 70 pounds on it if you got it perfectly balanced, and it'll guide good. A lot of people say you can't, but I'm telling you, with that one right now, I've got 68 pounds on it right now, and it guides just as good as it would guide with 10 pounds on it. But if it's windy outside, you can just forget about it. Yes, Player One, I'm really digging the Player One cameras, especially, I can't say enough about that Player One 428 Max Pro versus the 428 without the cooler. That thing is the bomb diggity when it comes to solar astrophotography. I'm telling you, it is insane. And the way that it cools and keeps up with itself is just crazy. I know it's really hard to see. This boogeyman is probably going to take forever to come out. We'll let it go that 8 more seconds, and then we're just going to jump over to another target, because I don't want to waste everybody's time on something that we really won't hardly be able to see. I want y'all to see some really cool, amazing stuff out in our universe. Let's let this thing stack, but I might be able to brighten this up by doing this, maybe. Oh, wrong way. Too much. Sorry. That's what happens when you start to play with the controls. Just let me put it on auto, and forget about it. All right, we'll let it come in one more, and then we're gonna go with something else, just because it's a very hard target, and it's a really cool target to see when you got 8, 10, 20 hours on. It's an amazing target, but not with 6, 8, 10 minutes. You know, we're not gonna see much with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop this this particular live stack, and we are going to go over to the Horsehead and Flame Nebula, which is one of my favorites. And this is another target that you have to be careful of for the bright star, because that star will blow it out. So what I'm going to try to do is I want to try to capture all of this hydrogen alpha region in here, because it's really amazing. So let's try to do that. Let's do that. And you can see how close it is to the Orion Nebula and the Running Man. It's just right next door. It's in the same neighborhood. So again, this red square is where we want to go to, and this blue box is currently where the telescope is looking. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, so you'll be able to watch the telescope theoretically move over to the box and align itself. So here we go. And it's going to start moving over just like that. And basically it aligns itself. It takes a snapshot of the stars and aligns itself. And once it's aligned, we'll get this validate, centered success, go-to success, or whatever it's called. And we got it. So we'll go over to the main screen, and we'll go to preview, and let's do a 5-second preview, just a 5-second preview. And so if those of you who have never imaged before, 5 seconds isn't much. I mean, it's nothing. But what's really cool is this telescope is pretty fast, so it should be able to gather a little bit of information to see something, especially with the Orion Nebula the way it is. It pokes out like at 1 second. But if you got a refractor or smaller telescope that's slow, 5 seconds is not bad, but you may have to bump it up to 30 seconds. But that's still not bad right there. That's the image is upside down, but that's the Flame Nebula, and that's the Horsehead right there. So just wait and see. We'll back this up, and let's go ahead and do a live stack so you'll get an idea of what this cool nebula looks like when it's stacked. So here we go. All right. I hope everyone is enjoying this tonight. Hope you're having a good night. Hope everybody staying warm. And I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate you hanging out with me for a little while here. Even if you came in and left 5 minutes, thank you for stopping by. And it really helps me out. It helps this channel out by spreading the word about my channel. So if you have any friends or anybody who's interested in space, astronomy, solar, send them my channel and let them look at the website, starwalking.org. It's not up to date. I need to put some more pictures on it, but it's got some good information on it. Some really cool time lapse at the very beginning of the solar page. It really helps us out, and I really appreciate you liking and subscribing and spreading the word. And if you have any ideas on how we can improve, make sure you send them my way. Send me an email. Go to my website. If you don't want to put it in the chat, send me a message on my website or put it in the chat. And very soon, we are going to figure out. I downloaded that big spinning wheel. I found one like Dan uses to give stuff away on his thing. We're going to do a couple giveaways. I do have some equipment that I've been holding on to. One of them is I believe it's a Star Zone. It's brand new. I want it at NEAF. It's a $350 corrector for Newtonian. I think it's 2-inch. I think it is. I have that to give away, and some other cool little items we're going to be giving away. Just trying to figure out, one, how to do it so we can do it the right way. And I'm just now learning how to figure out how to get that wheel built, and just got to figure out how to do that. So keep an eye out for that, because that'll be coming soon. And you have some chances to win some cool prizes. All right, so we got about another 100 seconds to go. And we're going to see this Horsehead and Flame Nebula. I will show you this. So I don't have an automatic focuser yet for the OCAL H2. So I had to 3D print me a batten-off mask. And what this does, for those of you who don't know, is when you put this over the top of the telescope, it will create something that looks like this X pattern. And then these veins that are inside of this thing here, it will cast a line directly in the center. And if your line is like over here, then you're not focused. But if it's right down the middle, right in the exact center, then you got a good focus. So that's what I use to focus up tonight with. All right, here comes the first iteration here. Let's look and see what it's going to look like. Crossing fingers, the Flame Nebula is going to pop out, and the horse will pop out its head a little bit. Let me move the cursor so it's not in the way. And woo, man, look at that. Now that is really cool. I wish I knew how to rotate the image so you could see it right side up, but man, talk about knocking your socks off. Look at that hydrogen alpha area right there. Whoa, that is the bomb diggity right there. Man, that's just well, it's basically 4 minutes of data, but look at that horse head right there. That is, man, I got one little gnat in here that's driving me crazy. That's the Horsehead Nebula right there. And I did take a picture of this. I tried to. When I first got my 14 at Christmas, the C14, I didn't put the reducer on. I just wanted to see something. So this was up in the sky, and I put it up there, and the image was only like around, it was just barely had this much in it. And I tried to take a picture, but it was so unsteady, and I was still trying to get the guiding going, and the focus was not right, because I had to focus with, I didn't have a batten-off mask, so I had to adjust it and use my eyeballs, and they're not as good as they should be. But anyway, it really brought out this little nebula area that's down in here. I can't wait to see that more in the future. But man, look at that Out and Attack star right there. That thing is so bright. It's even got a halo on it. And that's one of the things that kills astrophotography pictures is these halos right here. So certain filters, they don't do well with bright stars. But then again, you just have to tone your exposure down. But wow, that is, look at that hydrogen alpha area that's coming up there. And I guess, you know, what I can do is I can do, there was a way to, there we go, to clear the screen of all that stuff that's on there so you can see the rest of the area there. So it should, I'm not sure why it's not clearing the screen on your end. There it goes. So it did. It just took it a second to register. But there's the entire screen there. That's a really cool picture. Again, oh, it's just because it's. I keep forgetting the YouTube algorithm delays it. Got to go. Oh, thank you so much, Ernie. Appreciate you for stopping by. Have a great night. Oh, thanks. It does look pretty amazing here. It is a nice looking image, and this would be really cool to process, to have all of this really nice hydrogen alpha just stacking up on your image. Man, that looks really good. I'm impressed. This IDAS filter works really well. And again, I'm sorry about the way that this is tilted. And I guess one thing I could have explained too is up here is the guiding. So while this is, we'll wait for this next image to come through and then I'll explain that guiding. But it's downloading one more image, and you can see at the bottom there it's really slow. It's got to download that 110, 119 gigabyte, or not gigabytes, megabytes file. But after each image that's stacked, it just puts it together and makes it so much nicer. But this is the guiding, and what we're looking at here is the guide camera, and it's basically picking a star and it's locked onto that star. So that center dot is around it, and each one of these is a multi-point, so it's kind of referencing the stars in the sky, and it's trying to stay put. So if the wind moves, if the ground moves, it's trying to stay locked on that star. And the better that it's locked onto the star, it gives you a graph here, and it gives you an error. Not an error. It gives you, I guess it's really called an error. So it just tells you what you're guiding at. So what you want is, they say you want, like a arc second, so like 1.0. However, depending upon your scope and your field of view, I've had perfectly round stars at like 2.1 arc seconds, and the image still be good and usable. But generally, you wouldn't want that much. So that's how that works. There's the guiding piece. All right. Let's see. We'll let that go over images, and then we will slide over and see if we can see the rosette. Oh, you know what I did? Oh, man. Let me... Can I... Yes, we're going to stop this. Well, you know what? Nope. Okay, yeah, there we go. So yeah, that was a plane. There's the trail of that plane going through there. That's pretty cool. But I'll do the Rosette Nebula and one other one. I'll save all those files for processing and create it. I'll process it and put it through a TIFF files, and I'll put that on, and also a processed image. So those of you who are on here who do not have the ability or don't know how to process, I'll put the completed image there so you can download it and have it for yourself as well. Let's see. Let's give you some information on the horse head. It's basically a small dark nebula. It's located at roughly 1,375 light years from Earth. Excuse me, in the constellation Orion. And it says that there's some issues with the chat. So if anybody, doesn't matter who it is, anybody, just put a thumbs up or any type of signal in the chat, so I know that it's working. Still getting used to trying to figure out how this works. It says it's disconnected, then it says successfully connected, but I'm not sure. Yep, okay, perfect. Thank you, sweetie pie. That's a lovely pile of yogurt there. All right. Wow, did you just see that? That was a really cool increase. That was really cool. So let me zoom in here real quick. This hydrogen alpha region in this nebula is really cool. And that last go, I challenge you to go back after the live stream later on and rewind it and look and watch what happens when that, go back to where it had 4 2-minute images stacked. And then when that 5th one hit, when that 10 minutes hit, it really boosted that nebula area. That was really cool. And you can kind of start to see now that this area stretches way far. I don't know the distance. It's not giving me, sometimes it's difficult to get the information here. Let's see. It is, oh wow. So this thing is 3.5 light years across. So if this is 3.5 light years across, then it's probably at least 3 light years high. So that's how far that hydrogen alpha emission extends out past it. And if you've got a smaller, camera, so and what I mean by a smaller camera, this is a large camera. So we're looking at a, I forget the actual image size. I would have to look it up. But let's just say it's 42 millimeters or whatever it is. I know it's not exactly 4, but let's just say it was that. That's what we're looking at. If you had a smaller size, then you wouldn't get all of this area. You'd only get small of it. You only get this smaller portion. But you can get a telescope that has a wider view, and then you can get a huge portion of all of this stuff. So maybe you could cover all of this area, especially with like a Rokinon 135 millimeter lens. This telescope is 561-ish millimeter focal length. So I call that the zoom power. And that's what we're seeing here. But if you have one that was larger, then what it would do for you is it would allow you to see more of this area in here. You'd get to see all of this area more than what you're seeing now. All right, so that's the Horsehead and Flame Nebula. Let's roll over to, okay, we've been doing this for almost an hour. Let's roll over, and thank you. Thank you so much for those individuals that are here. Thank you for hanging out. If you have any questions, please drop it in the chat. If you want to try to see something, let me know. I'm going to move over to the Rosette Nebula. Let's see if we can find that, and then we can look at Jupiter, but unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to focus on Jupiter because I'm in here, the telescope's out there, and I can't adjust it from in here because I don't have the electronic focuser. So if everyone in the chat would put in the chat, hey, Wilfredo really needs that electronic focuser, and if we say it enough, maybe my wife will buy me one. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's move it over to the Rosette Nebula. But first of all, let's let this image pay real close attention to right in here. Let's see if this image gets boosted in contrast. And here it comes. Ah, she said, nice try. All right, here it comes. Give it another few seconds. It's trying to load. As you can see, it's right here. Once this green bar goes all the way across, keep an eye out right here. Let's see if that area increases in intensity. Maybe. Not much. All right. let's go over to the Rosette Nebula. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit this little button over here, and then we are going to, there's so much stuff out here in space to look at. I mean, we could go over here and just take a picture of the Barnard's Loop, but what we want to do is we want to go over here, and there's Betelgeuse. That's the star Betelgeuse, the one that's supposedly going to explode and cut out. That's Betelgeuse. I'll tell you what, I'll let you see. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. We've got to stop the live stack, and we've got to go to preview mode, and then I'll let you see Betelgeuse real quick, and then we'll go over to Rosette Nebula, because Rosette Nebula is right there. There's Rosette Nebula right there. As you can see, Betelgeuse. There's the Rosette Nebula, there's Betelgeuse. So it's just right in the same neighborhood, basically right down the street. It's what I tell my wife all the time. It's just right down the road. So here it goes. It's moving over to Betelgeuse. I'll let you, we'll zoom in on the star. We'll just take we won't do a live stack. We'll do like a 60, let's do 1 minute. A 1 minute stack of this star so you can see it up and close and personal. And this is the one that they say was supposed to go supernova. But at some time, but there's also another one out there that was going to do that as well. But they say Betelgeuse was going bright, dim, and oh, it's going to go, but maybe not. All right, we're just trying to get it to solve. It's trying to do its place off. There it goes. So it's now on Betelgeuse. So there is Betelgeuse, all nice and pretty. But what we're going to do, ooh, what is that? What is that, y'all? What is that right there? What did we just capture? We captured a squiggly worm in space. Well, it might be an asteroid. Nah, that's just probably a stacking artifact from when it was moving. But that is pretty strange there, what that is. That's that Oumuamua going through space. All right, let's do a 1 minute preview of Betelgeuse. And if you say it 3 times, you know what's going to happen. So let's do that, and then we'll go up to the Rosette Nebula. But that's a really cool star, because look at it. You can tell the color difference in it. It's different from all the rest. I don't know if that's a red giant, but people call it Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse. They call it all kinds of different things. Let's see here. It is a massive reddish red supergiant in the constellation Orion. It is also, I'm trying to read how far away it is. It's roughly guesstimated between 400 and 500 light years from Earth. All right, it should be loading up now. Here it comes. Get ready. Wow. Look at that. What is that? That must just be the halo that's forming around it. You know, that was here's something that's a little strange. That must have been a very slow moving satellite. And the reason I say that is because look, this right here was down here earlier, that little same dotted line. But what I was wanting to say about this star is it doesn't have a normal halo, which means an hour away. Oh yeah, that's right. Jeff says, buy one. Yeah, let's do it. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the chat. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I do need. Oh, Meredith and Jeff. Yes, yes. I do need an electronic focuser. Another one. I mean, I did say, and I'll say it in front of everybody, and I'll put it out there on the YouTube. I did say that I do need to consolidate and get rid of some stuff and get, instead of having like 9 telescopes, I need to whittle that down to like maybe 8 telescopes. No, I'm just kidding. Like 4 telescopes. Like the C14, the RASA, the OCAL, and then like a really good refractor. And then maybe when I retire, get that really big $120,000 plane wave telescope, and you get those contracts to, do stuff for NASA and stuff. But anyway, this is really cool. I'm going to go back and image this over the next couple of weeks. But you see this area right here around this star? I've imaged Betelgeuse before, and I've never had that split. This is it's like a little gap in between this halo here, like going up between here. I've never seen that, so I'm wondering if that's what the scientists are saying, that its gases, it's shedding itself, ready for, supernova. But I don't know. I'm not a astronomist to be able to give you that information. But that's Betelgeuse. It looks cool. That looks really cool. It does look like it's got something coming off of it right there in that particular picture. And I'm going to actually screenshot this for myself. And I'm hoping I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot by doing this, because I don't want it to mess up. Okay, whew, it worked. I wanted to screenshot that because I'm going to go back and take an image of Betelgeuse and compare it and try to keep track of it over the next couple of months and see if it changes. All right, let's go to the Rosette Nebula. Let's do that. Who wants to go see the Rosette Nebula? It's really cool. When you see this for the first time, it's really going to knock your socks off. All right, here we go. So the telescope is now moving over to the Rosette Nebula. It's going to lock itself on, and then it will validate that it's centered on the target. And this particular one, I'm going to save the files so you'll be able to have it for yourself. And again, for those individuals who don't know how to process or don't want to process it, I'll put the final image in there as well. So just go, you have to give it a day, or I should be able to have it done tomorrow, by tomorrow evening. Look in the video description, and there'll be a link to my Google Drive, and that data will be there, whether it be the finished image or the data you want to use to do it with. So look at that. There's a preview image of the Rosette Nebula already showed up. Wow, look at that. Look at that thing. That is so cool. All right, let's go and do the live stack. But on this one, we're going to save each frame while stacking. So that way, if we stack 10 frames, I'll be able to go back and process those and put that data out there for you. So here we go. This is going to make a huge difference. This, you should see, I don't know why it does that. But you see this image right here. Just wait for the awe-inspiring moment when this hits. This is a really cool image. I can't wait to use the C14 and zoom in to the center of this Rosette Nebula, because there's these little spider veins inside here and these stars, and supposedly there's something on the back side that you got to be able to zoom in to see it, but there's something in there that you can see if you've got a strong enough telescope. I don't know if it's like you know, like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, or it's just another star or another gaseous form of nebulae, whether it's a hydrogen or it's an oxygen sitting in there. But I want to see that. I can't wait for when that pops up. So let's get you some information on the Rosette Nebula. All right. This is NGC 244. It's also Caldwell 49. There's an open cluster of stars inside of it, which is Caldwell 50. It's a hydrogen alpha 2. It's hydrogen alpha 2 region located in, or it's located in a giant molecular cloud in the Monoceros region of the Milky Way galaxy. I'm just reading to you right off of what's on Wikipedia. It's 5,200 light years away, and it is 65 light years wide. And it is, if you were to Google it and look at the Wikipedia image, it's a beautiful SHO. So it's a sulfur, hydrogen, and alpha, hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen alpha, and sulfur gas combination of a picture on the website, and it's beautiful. It looks really amazing. All right, another 90 seconds or so. We'll let this one stack up for a few minutes, and then we'll swing over to see Jupiter if we can. And then I encourage you, well, I don't encourage you to stick around to see if we can see more, but I really appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Let's see here, I'm looking at the chat, make sure I haven't missed any questions. Right down the road, it does mean an hour. No, it just means right down the road. Right down the road is about 15 minutes. Right down the street is about 5 minutes. All right, here it comes. This little bar here. All right, get ready. Here it comes. Booyah, look at that. Look at the difference that made. That is insane. Look at the difference of looking at it from about 20 seconds to 2 minutes. That's incredible. And it only gets better with time. Man, look at that. That is just crazy. That's just amazing. So we are, for those of you who just popped in, we're doing a live stack of the Rosette Nebula currently right now. We're using the OCAL H2 hyperbolic imaging Newtonian. It's a brand new telescope made by OCAL. It's called the H2. It's a H2 2.72, which is the focal ratio is 2.72, which is extremely fast imaging telescope. And if anyone is interested in those telescopes, Dan over at Astroworld Telescopes, I believe he is the U.S. distributor of those. So, and forgive me if I got that wrong. But if you want one, you contact astroworldtelescopes.com. It's an amazing telescope. About 32 pounds, 33 pounds with the camera I have on it, with the guide scope, currently with the ASI Air computer that's on it and all the wires that go with it. But soon we're going to be using Stella Vita. Stella Vita and ASI Air, they're in competition. This one's been around for a long time, and it's really nice and really good. And Stella Vita, it just came out last year, and this is a beta test model. So this one was sent to me by Dan over at Astroworld, and when I first got it, I wanted to take a hammer to it because it was the promise of it working was what not he promised, but the promise that it had kept me going because I really wanted it to work. And now it's been updated and it does work, and it's open source. So what that means is ZWO, you have to use their equipment. But this Stella Vita one, you can use basically any equipment as long as they have the drivers updated for it. All right, buddy, you want to say hey to everybody? Come here and say hey. Come here, Bubba. Come here. Okay. Say hello to everybody. Okay, no kisses. You can kiss everybody on the screen. See right there? Say, hey everybody. Hi. My name is Griffin and I like to give kisses. You can rent me for $5. I'll come over and play and kiss you all day. Okay. All right, buddy. All right. Yeah, I love you too. All right. All right, here comes another one in 60 seconds. So we got 3 images so far. Let's get a few more in there, so that way when I process the data, you'll have at least a decent, it won't be a poster-worthy image, but it'll be an image that you can be proud of to print out or put on your phone and go, ooh, look what I have. And we got this from Wilfredo. So right now, the machine is guiding at 0.40, 0.49, which is really good. So we're below a half of an arc second. And again, depends on your imaging train, your setup. You know, don't just say I'm not going to be able to do it because I can't get below 1 arc second, because there's many nights I've been sitting on the couch and that thing is out there at 1.8, 2.1 when I've got the Red Cat 71 on it and the images look great. All right, let's see here. So when it's settling and dithering, so when that thing takes a picture in space, and you can set it to move a pixel or 2 pixels every time, so it captures a different area and kind of overlaps, gives you a better, more detail. That's not the technical term for it, but that's kind of how I'm explaining it. So when it does that, you'll see that jump, and it says dither in the guiding or in the tracking, and then when it does that, it stops taking a picture. So at the bottom down here, it says settling. So now it says stacking. So it stopped what it was doing to allow for that process to happen. Excuse me. I'm trying to pay attention to the chat. I've got my computer here. I've got the iPad, which is running the system outside. I've got over here, I've got a tablet that I'm trying to keep up with the chat on. And then I've got my computer laptop over here to Google the stuff about what we're looking at. It's insane. There is a chat. I'm using OBS software to do this live stream, and there is a chat at the top up here, but it keeps signing in, signing out, signing in, signing out. So I don't know what is really there. You know, I don't know if that's the chat going on or not. So, but I can see it looks like we've got about 11 people in here watching. So greatly appreciate each and every one of you, and for all of those who have stopped by tonight. All righty, it's 9 seconds left. we're going to get another one. And what's really cool about stacking these things is you can adjust the colors too. It's one thing I wish they would allow for us to do in this to do that, but it won't allow me to do that. I can't adjust the color. I can adjust the brightness and screen display, but I can't adjust the color. And it should be coming through. Well, says it is, or maybe I missed it, but we'll give let's see, we'll get 2 more images in, so 4 more minutes, and then we'll go to another target. While this is looking at this, while this is stacking, let's look and see what our next target's going to be. Let's see here. Ooh, this is the Christmas tree nebula. Has anybody out there seen the Christmas tree nebula? Throw a hand up if you want to see the Christmas tree nebula, or let's see here. What's over here? Oh, you know what? The jelly, not the jellyfish, the, somewhere over here is the Seagull Nebula. That's too far down. There's the moon. Let's see here. There's Sirius. Somewhere in here is, we might be able to see, there's Wheezin. I thought maybe I'm mistaken. I thought the dolphin was over here. I could be mistaken. It's been a while since I've been searching around. Oh, there's the Seagull Nebula right there. That's the Seagull. That's a pretty cool thing too. That might be a little too low at the moment. Looking through the backyard, there's these huge pine trees right in the center. And it's like a goalpost. I got an image while it goes in between these 2 big trees and wait an hour for it to clear, or go higher and go over the tree. But we'll let this go for 1 more image. And then we'll move on to the next one. We'll do 1 or 2 more, and then we'll be good. I hope everyone's having a good night tonight. Again, thank you so much for hanging out and doing some star walking. Again, this is the Rosette Nebula. We have 6 images that are stacked. So they're 2-minute images. Every time it comes up, there's 2 of those there. So 12 minutes of data. And honestly, for 12 minutes, you can't beat that. And there's what I was talking about earlier, is inside this nebula is this area that's in here. And if you get a very high-powered telescope, you can resolve a lot of this detail in here, and even further in, like maybe catching what's on the back side. Like I wish this thing goes away here, but there is something right here. It's just starting to come out. You can kind of see the formation of it right here. It's on the back side. But it is so cool to see just the formation of all that gas inside there. Pretty neat. Don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps the algorithm share this live stream. And if you know anybody share the live stream, even if they're not going to watch it. Click that button and share it. It'll help the algorithm push this out. Even when we're all in bed sleeping, they can still go back and watch it. All right. So after this next image is done, we will save it and then move over to the next image. But wow, that is so cool looking. And when I hit this, I don't know why it doesn't, I'm going to let it sit like this for a minute, but what I've done is I've tapped a screen and it should, I thought, take it off your screen, but apparently it's not. It's not doing it for some reason. I don't know why, but it's not doing it. So if I do this, it goes away for a second, but then it comes back. So, all right, 25 more seconds. We'll let this one go, and then we'll move on. Maybe I need to start playing some music too. I don't know. You want some rock and roll or some 80s music? But again, I could sit here all night and tell you thank you so much for hanging out and spending time with me, just perusing around the universe. All right, it should be, it's settling. We got to wait for it to settle and finish its stacking, and then we'll save it and move on to the next target. Let's see here. But we are so close to Jupiter on the back side over here. We'll take a look at that. Can't guarantee anything because, again, I'm in here. The telescope's out there. We don't have an electronic focuser to do it electronically. So it may or may not even resolve itself. So we'll give it a shot. But we'll just try it since we're close to it. And then we will move on out to another target. The Cone. Christmas tree nebula. Some people call it the Cone nebula. Some people call it the Christmas tree. And depending upon which filter you use and what type of camera you use, there's a lot more gas in this nebula than just hydrogen, hydrogen alpha and oxygen 3. There's more than just that. There's some sulfur too. There's some hydrogen beta, and there's some other stuff out there too. But this filter is only letting in the visible light from HA and O3. So it's that's what we're predominantly seeing here. That's why it's giving you the predominant red color right off the bat. But you could get some blue, you could get some green in there too, depending upon which filters you're using. Not so much green, but that kind of correlates to some of sulfur and some other gases in there. It depends on how you mix them up. But 14 more seconds, and then we will stop this and move on to the next target. We're going to see if we can see Jupiter, but then go to the Cone Nebula. I tell you, when I was looking at Jupiter last night, and I was live stacking it on the computer, just looking at it, it looked really, really cool. It's getting ready to finish stacking here, so as soon as this finishes stacking, I'll hit the stop button. I think you can stop it now, but I don't want to stop it while it's in the process of stacking. But let's try this. I'm just waiting for it to finish stacking, and then we'll stop. I guess there's no harm in stopping it now, though. Yeah, we'll go ahead and stop it. There's 8, so there's 16 minutes. We'll stop it there. Wonder what this button does here. Oh, does nothing. Whoa. I don't know. Well, I hit the cancel button. I don't know what that was. Okay, let's not do that again. All right, let's go to Jupiter. And then we'll come right back to the Cone Nebula. Now, there's no promises on Jupiter, but we're going to give it a shot, see what happens. All right, so there's the telescope swinging around to it. It's trying to validate that it's on Jupiter. And hopefully it will validate itself. If it doesn't, then I just hit the stop button and we'll go from there. It looks like it's going to try to do it, but it's so bright. See, it's trying. When it can't figure itself out, it moves away and comes back. So if it does that one more time, we'll just hit the stop button and see if we can't see like it is. Let's see here, it's taking 6, 7. So it's not going to solve it, so we're going to hit the stop button. It's still sitting there, but we're going to hit the preview button. And let's preview it at 0.001 of a second and see if it even pops up on the screen here. You got to take a quick second. I mean, it's like a quick picture. It's so bright. Hey, there it is, but it's so bright you can't even see the bands of it. But if we were to do, I don't even know if this will work, but we'll do this. Oh, look at there. Look at there. There's Jupiter. Look at that. Ah, there you go. There's Jupiter. Whoop, 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 whoop. I didn't think it would do it. You can actually see the bands of Jupiter on that. Look at that. And it's not even focused. Get out of town. We can adjust the gain a little bit. It'll take a second because it's on video, but man, look at that. How cool is that? I didn't even think we were going to be able to get Jupiter, but there you go. There's Jupiter, live and in person. It's fuzzy. It's going to be fuzzy because it's not focused, because the focuser is out, the telescope's out there. But anyway, how cool is that? We were able to see Jupiter. That's pretty cool. That's a thumbs up in my book. Woohoo! So when you're looking at it with the 14, oh, is that the big red spot? I can't tell, it's so blurry, but that might be, you gotta be kidding me. That is the big red spot. That is the big red spot right there of Jupiter that we're looking at. Can't get any better. I mean, that's awesome. Pretty cool. And again, we can't focus it because again, it's a manual focus and it's set. But wow, that is incredible. That's an incredible view of that visor free right there in the middle of the screen. I can't believe that just popped up. All right, there we go. We're going to move away from Jupiter and go over to the Cone Nebula. But man, that is so cool. I can't believe that. We got to see Jupiter. All right. So let's go back to the preview mode. Let's go over here, say goodbye to Jupiter, and let's go to the Cone Nebula. Now this one has lots of stuff out here. So there's stuff all over. All right, here we go. Moving over to the Cone Nebula. that was cool. Jupiter actually looked pretty cool, even though it was fuzzy, but it was gonna be fuzzy because we couldn't focus it. But man, that was pretty cool. That was unexpected. All right. All right, so it's trying to find itself there. Looks like it already did. So we are now guiding on the Cone Nebula, and it gave us a preview of 0.001 second. And you can actually see some of the nebula popping out right there. I think that's the tip of the cone, I think. But if we were to do a 30-second image, oh, there we go. We'll wait for this thing to show up, and then we're going to hit the stack. And you'll get to see the Cone Nebula, because there's all kinds of stuff here, and there's been some people, let me Google it, who will actually doctor it up to where it looks like a Christmas tree. It looks really amazing for a Christmas image. All right, let's Google it. And it says that it is, come on, internet. Oh, wow. Wish I could show you this picture here. Excuse me. It says it's in the constellation Monoceros. Well, yeah, it just barely popped out. That's the cone right there. All right, but let's go ahead and get it stacking, because we know we want to see it. Live stack. 20, stack, save, and go. All right, so now we're stacking. It is located 2,700 light years from Earth. 2,700 light years from Earth. It is 4 light years wide. It's not as big as what we were seeing before, but it's still pretty huge. All right, so we're going to stack this one, then we'll stack one more, and then we'll call it a night. Unless somebody out there has something they want to see. And it looks like the guiding. Now, see, this is what I was talking about before. You got to look. The guiding is not doing something right, because it's at 2.99. So what we want to do here is, before we get too far into the stack, we can reset it and let it pick another star. And that's what it did. It was locked onto a star down here. Now it's locked onto a star here. And let's I'm just looking to see. Yes. So now look at the guiding now. Instead of it being 299, it's now back down to something more manageable. Because that was kind of high. It probably still would have worked, but we wouldn't want to have let that go on all night long. So it didn't start stacking yet because of that. So there we go. And we're live stacking right now on the Cone Nebula. We'll let this one go for 6 images maybe, and then we will do one more and we'll wrap it up, and that'd be just right about the 2-hour time frame, and that way it's not too late for me, it's not too late for anybody else who's hanging around, but I greatly appreciate you sticking it out with me. Mountain Dew, stay up all night. My baby won't let me have a Red Bull past 2 o'clock because she says I drive her crazy. I don't need a Red Bull for that, baby. I love you. All right. We are live stacking the Cone Nebula. And there it is on the screen as far as where we're looking at in space. And then I promise you we'll find one more interesting target after this. But see, now the guiding has jumped. I wonder if there's clouds or how far away from the other target were we to cause such a big jump in the guiding. But nonetheless, this will be a test. You'll be able to see this. We got 13 seconds left. I know it's not going to show much, but when the next stack comes through, we're going to let it roll with this high number, and we'll see if it's really affecting our image, our stars. Because like right now, they're still round. They're not horribly bad. So I'll go over here in the corners. I think they're okay. But we'll see. But you know, it's kind of strange. I don't know what's out there. It could be, who knows? It could be my neighbor's cat out there messing with it. It could be the wind picking up. I don't know. I'm not out there looking. I don't think there's any clouds out there because actually it does look a little hazy. Boy, wouldn't that be something? Earlier when I started, I aligned everything, and just prior to 7 o'clock, it said there was an 8% chance of snow, and a huge cloud came over, and I'm like, oh great, now I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm just checking the weather to make sure that there's nothing sitting out there lasting. It says a 6% chance of snow right now is what the weather app says. Go figure. But it says it's clear. No, it says it's partly cloudy. That's what we're doing. We're seeing some clouds out there right now. Matter of fact, you can see it on the screen. Just before that thing hit, there was some clouds. You can see the clouds on the screen. So there's the Cone Nebula. This may be the last one we get due to the weather. I'm not sure. But look at that. There's some definition going on down here. There's some pockets of hydrogen alpha over here. But there's the cone starting to appear right before your eyes, right there. There's the cone, there's the tip, right there. But we'll let this stack a couple times, and then hopefully the clouds will stay away, and we can squeak in another less than 20 minutes for this target and another one. Excuse me, and it'll be a really good night. We've looked at several different targets throughout tonight. But I could sit there and look at the Rosette Nebula, the Orion Nebula, and the Horsehead Nebula for a long time. They're so amazing to look at, and there's so much detail in there. You can capture that thing for many hours and still be impressed with what's going on. I see something on the screen here. I'm trying to figure out what this is. Look at that. That's just a piece of nebula. Oh, come on, this thing. I wish I knew why this did this. There's a little spot of nebula out there that was just in the picture. It's just hanging out there. There's some more over here. Wow. I wish I could make that a little bit, I don't know if I can try to make it brighter for you. There you go, I figured it out now. Just trying to adjust the contrast and all so I can... Oh, that's probably the wrong way, but I'm just adjusting these sliders here on the histogram to change the way it's looking, so it'll show a little bit more on the screen to brighten it up or darken it. And I don't know I don't know how else to control it to make it any better than that, but nonetheless, we are looking at the Cone Nebula. And if you have a computer in front of you, you can Google it. It's a really beautiful looking image. They call it, also call it the Christmas tree cluster. That's something I'll have to, I don't think I've ever taken an image of this one except one time when I very first started taking pictures of the night sky. I haven't been back to this one. I need to revisit it because it's according to Google here, there's some amazing images of the Christmas tree or / Cone Nebula out there. Well, this is amazing. Looks like we've got 14 people in the live stream. That's just incredible. Thank you to everyone for making that possible. Couldn't do it without you. Of course, I could do it. I'd just be sitting here all by myself. But I really appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out for a little while and learning a little bit about space. Let's see here. I think it is getting, I'll tell you what, let me check. One way I can check about the clouds is I got my little handy dandy camera here. And let's look and see. Oh, is that clouds? Let me look here at my little Wise camera here. Oh no, it's not the clouds. Wow. It's this. That bright, very bright light that you see, that is the moon. So the moon, like what we talked about before, the moon is in that section of area where we are trying to image. Right now it's behind the tree. So all of this light that you see over here versus dark, that's the gradient, the light gradient of the moon glow that we're trying to look through over there. So it is going to be harder to look at some of these particular, this is a, I'm just reading here. This particular one is going to be a little harder to see when the full moon is out. So some of these images are going to be difficult, harder to see. So this is one of them. That's why it's taking a little longer to come out. So maybe we'll let this one more. Well, it's almost one more, so it's stacking up now. But that's why this Christmas tree one is a little harder to see, is because of that full moon. Now, what would be really cool is if let's see here, depending upon where that moon is in the next if it will clear that tree in the next 10 or 15 minutes, might be able to show you a picture of a full moon or an image of the full moon. But again, it would be like Jupiter. We have to put it on video and dim it way down, and it may not be very, very sharp. It's Vecna. Oh yeah, Stranger Things. Yeah, my wife and I, we're behind the times. We just binged, watched Stranger Things. So we just finished it up the other day. That was pretty cool. Pretty good stuff there. I like that. All right. Let this last image come through, and then we're going to call it good on this. It's definitely the moon causing this issue here, just because it's so bright. So we will find another target to the right of there. I got Stellarium pulled up, so give me a second. Let me look in Stellarium here. Let's see what is over here that we could see. Fairly simple. Ooh, what is this? That might work. Let's see how high that is. Let's see what this is. Oh, can't read it. The altitude is 36 degrees. That might work. We might look at the Seagull Nebula. That very well could work. Oh, I was right. The Dolphin Head Nebula is, earlier we were talking about where Sirius was, and the Dolphin Head is right down there below Sirius. I was correct. All right, we're going to give it another 10 seconds, and we're going to stop this image. Once it settles down, and then we'll go to another image, something big and bright like the rosette that will stand out. Some of these don't have a name that I know of right off the bat. That's going to be easy to see. But we've looked at that. Where is, oop, that's too close to the ground. So right here's the Dolphin Head Nebula. Right here. That is, yes, that is the Dolphin Nebula. You can kind of see it right there, but that big old star is an issue always when I'm trying to image it. All right, let's go back and stop this one. Oh, look at the clouds. I think that's, no, that's not clouds. That is the moon glow. That could be some clouds, but we'll just go ahead and stop it now. Let's stop that. Let's go back to the preview mode. Exit. Let's find us another quick target. We'll get one more before all this stuff isn't going to allow us to see anything else. Where's the meridian? Okay, so you see this green line. This is the meridian, and anything past that meridian, the telescope is going to have to, when it looks over this way, it's going to have to swap around, and it's going to have to flip. Well, I don't want it to do that because I'm not out there, and I don't want those cords to get all tangled up. I don't think it would, but I think this is in a position enough to where we might be able to see the Dolphin Head show up. So we're going to try it. There's no guarantee here, but we're going to try this one, and then we'll go to another target that we can see, and then other than that, we may have to wrap it up. But I think we can squeak 11 minutes out of this. Let's see if this works. Hopefully this will work. The dolphin is pretty cool, but I think it's going to be a wash with the full moon out. It might be a little difficult to see. But nonetheless, we are going to try it, see what happens. and then maybe capture a picture of the moon real quick. It's trying to validate its center. I don't know if it's going to do it or not. We'll see here. We might be looking into trees. Nope. We got it. All right. So hopefully that pine, no, yeah, look at that. We got the tree. We got a tree. Those daggum trees are in the way, right in the center of that, because that's the star that's in the dolphin head. So it's too low. It's right at the top of that middle of that pine tree. Remember I was telling you about a goalpost? You know, yeah, it's right in that tree. All right, so can't do that one. Got to do something that's a little bit above it, like this. Let's look at this, M41, big star cluster. Let's go there. Let's try that. I haven't looked at star clusters very much. And then we'll do this for a second, and then we'll see about maybe looking at the moon or whatever that Seagull nebula was. We'll check that out on the way out. It's trying to align itself. Look at that. It lined itself pretty quick. All right. Ooh, that looks cool. Let's do just a quick 2-minute image. Well, you know what? This is going to be beautiful. So let's go 3 minutes. Let's do a 3-minute image. Hang out with me and talk shop for 3 minutes, and let's see what these stars look like. This is not stacked. This is not going to be a stacked image. It's just going to be a 3-minute long image, and we'll see how that looks on these stars. It's probably going to be not worth the wait, but it's worth trying. We will give it a shot. Thank you for hitting that like button. I really appreciate it. Also, there's a little bell right there. If you hit that little bell and once you're subscribed and you notify all, it'll let you know when I publish a new video or when I'm going to go live. It'll automatically notify you if you so choose to have that. That'd be great. But let's see here. We got 105 seconds left to see these stars pop up, and then we'll go over and look at the Seagull Nebula, and then that truly be it. I probably won't be able to get any more with the moon coming up. And what most people do is they will try to, during a full moon, is they'll try to do stuff like this, or they'll actually image the moon. So let's just check this out real quick, and we'll call it a night. And we'll swing by the moon on the way out, or the Seagull Nebula. We won't stack it, but we'll take a look at it. But the guiding is really bad right at the moment. It's horrible. It's cloudy. Ooh, that is beautiful. Let me hold that. Y'all check this out. This is what my wife just made. Check this out. Look at that. That is really cool. Look at that. Thumbs up in the chat. All right. Hey, Misu, come here. You'll be on camera. Come here, Misu. All right, you'll get to tell everybody hello. Okay, flying doggies. Hey, Misu. This is the queen of the roost right here. Say hello. Hi. Say hi. Woo. Okay. All right, 18 seconds left. We're going to see these stars. Then we'll move over to Seagull, and then we'll be done. Dave, those look amazing. You're welcome. All right, here it comes. 4 seconds. 3. Hopefully they turn out well. I've never done a star cluster before, which I'd really need to do some more of those, but let's see what this looks like. I'm hoping something jumps out and it's like an amazing awe moment here. All right, it's loading. Here it goes. Here it goes. Well, not really that impressed because the guiding is really bad. So, okay. One of those things where I just come back to. All right. Last target. If I can find it here. Ooh, what is that? That looks cool. I remember. First, I got to remember where we were here. There's the moon. It's right in this area right here somewhere. There we go. There's the seagull. Let's check this out. All right, here we go. Last one. It's going over to the target now. Let's see if we can see the seagull before it's time. But I will try to swing by the moon. But for those of you who are just coming in, if you missed Jupiter, maybe about 20 minutes ago, we saw Jupiter. Wasn't the best image of Jupiter because we couldn't focus it from inside here, but you can see the big red spot and the bands, the striations on Jupiter. Well, that was pretty cool. All right, it's trying to validate itself. And yes, there we go. And we're going to go ahead and, oh yeah, it's showing up now because you can start to see it already. So we're going to go ahead and do the live stack right now to get that going. Let's go. There we go. So remember, after maybe tomorrow some time frame, you go back to the video description or the description in the live stream. There'll be a link to my Google Drive, and this practice data will be there, and also the completed images will be there. And use them as you wish. Print them out, make it a bookmark, or put it on your phone, computer, or post it online saying, "Ooh, this is what I saw online with Wilfredo." Do with it as you wish, just as long as you come back next time we do a live stream. One of these days I'm gonna be famous. I'll sign some autographs for you. It'd be worth maybe I'll give you 25 cents and you can buy a cup of coffee with it. All right, so the guiding is back to normal. It must not be in an area of a tree, but it is still kind of blurry and fuzzy, so it's like maybe some clouds we're seeing through. The weather does say partly cloudy at the moment on the weather app. Can't control the weather, but I'm sure glad it's lasted long enough to get this out of the way and to see as many targets as we've seen. But we'll let this stack a few times, and then if you're still here, I'm gonna swing by the moon anyway on the way out. So as a parting gift, you might be able to see a image of the moon. No guarantee on what it'll look like. How clear it's going to be. I'm going to see if it's above that tree. Ooh, it is really bright now that it is it looks like it's out from behind that tree. I'm going to show you what this looks like on my phone. So if you notice, over here you've got the moon, and then over here at the top, right there, that dot, that's Jupiter. So it's really, really bright. You can see that huge glow that it is, that it's putting out there, and that gradient really, really, really messes with imaging. So if you have a mono camera and you have a hydrogen alpha filter, you can cut through all that sky glow or that moon glow, but you'll still have a gradient sometimes have to deal with. It's still workable and still doable, but it's working. All right. First image should be coming through here any moment. Oh. It's quiet. I could start singing. I have to charge though. You don't want to hear me sing. All right, here we go. Why does it say idle? Why did it do that? I'm not sure what took place there. I'm not sure why it stopped. But man, I don't get that one. Something was strange. It just I don't know, the ASI Air program. I have to go back and watch the video, but I'm pretty sure I hit the go button. There was one night where I was out there imaging, and I set it up on auto run, and I thought I pushed the button. I came back inside. I didn't even bother looking. I was so sure that everything was going to be fine. I didn't even look at anything. Just closed the the iPad, came inside, and nothing. It didn't even start the program. So maybe I didn't push the button, but I could have swore I saw in here that this thing was counting down seconds. So I'm not sure why it skipped over to idle. Maybe it got confused on what it was doing, but it shows live stacking here. It shows that it's supposed to be pulling up something here. So we'll give it just another minute so you can at least see the Seagull Nebula. It's a really cool looking target, and it's really huge too. This is a big one. Let me give you the data on it real quick. I think this is one of the largest ones we've done. I think. It is, it's 3,650 light years from Earth, and it is, well, I'm trying to get the span of it. I should just I should just be able to have it listed right there for you. Oh, it's pretty big. It's 250 light years across. So when this thing pops up, and you can see, now I personally don't see. Some people see a seagull head, and some people see the seagull wings, but bring it here. Some people see that, but I don't see that. Ooh, that's tight. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be here on YouTube, and I can't even open up a jar of sauce. Or I'm going to be if I wear this sauce live on YouTube, I'm going to laugh. There you go. That's how that's done. There you go. You're welcome. All right. So here we go. It should be bringing up something here. I'm going to have to figure out this visor. If anybody has any suggestions on what other programs to use to get the iPad to the screen, let me know, because this visor thing, I don't like the idea that it keeps popping up. Ooh, look at that difference. There we go. Okay, so there's the seagull. Some people say that this is a seagull head, and there's the wings. I don't know for sure, but we'll give it another couple of stacks. But one thing I do want to point out is the gradient that I was talking about before when you're imaging, and it makes it difficult to deal with sometimes. See how it's darker down here is more a constant space looking background, but up here there's this grayish tint that up here all the way down to here it's not the same, and that's that gradient. That's the moon glow that we're dealing with right there. So this is, again, for those of you who may have just popped in, we're just star walking, what I call star walking around the universe, doing some live streaming and live stacking of galaxies, not galaxies, nebula. We don't have any right now that are in view. But this is the Seagull Nebula, and it's 250 light years wide. So from this area over here to this area way over here, it's roughly 250 light years wide and 3,500-ish light years from Earth. So it's super huge, but it's a really cool object to image and then process because it's so big. And there's the seagull head. I think that this is the front and this is the back piece. I don't know. Someone smarter than me would have to figure that one out. But you can see how big it is. Looks like some wings going there, or maybe I'm looking at it wrong. But we'll give it another couple of minutes to finish stacking, and this will be one of the targets that will be available for you to get once we're done with this. But at least give it till tomorrow-ish, so I can get the data processed and then uploaded. We have Starlink internet here, so sometimes if the files are large, I can download decent, but upload is a little slow. So it's 10 to 15 up megabytes per second up. So it takes us a little bit to do the upload on Starlink. All right, 95 seconds left. Oh, and we hit a 2-hour mark, so thank you so much, those who been here from the very beginning and those of you who just joined in. Thank you so much. Again, if you like what we do here, hit the like and subscribe button. If you have any suggestions on how we can improve or what you would like to see in the future on a live stream, music, or maybe a co-host, or just anything, maybe two. We have enough and we have the technology, just got to figure it out. We can do, 2 targets at the same time. So instead of having just this one target over here in this galaxy and the Astroworld piece, we could take these 2 down and put another target up there. It could be a planet, or it could be a galaxy while we're doing a nebula. We have that capability, so we could do something like that. So if that sounds interesting, drop it in the chat, and we'll try to improve for the next go. But soon we will figure out that little spinning wheel and figure out how to do the live stream for sure. I mean the live stream. We'll do the giveaway with that during the giveaway during the live stream. All right, so that's 3. We need 2 more. 2 more images, and then we can go over and see if the moon is there, and then totally we're going to be done because we've already passed 2 hours. And I'm starting to get a little hoarse from talking. And if I drink any more Mountain Dew, it's definitely going to be a very fast day tomorrow. All right, let's see if the moon, depending upon, you might be able to see the telescope. I might be able to show you the telescope sitting here. Let's see here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so here's a picture of the telescope. There it is. I'm trying to get it closer, sorry. There's the telescope. You've got a weight on this end, on the far end there, and then the guide scope on the other end. But if you can see those trees, see the trees there along the way there, so the moon is up top, and hopefully it's above those trees, because if it's above the tree, then I can just slew the telescope around, and we can capture just a quick glimpse of the moon before we depart, if you so like. I'm going to try it. Hopefully you'll still be here and get to see it. If not, you can come back and watch it again. And if you have grandkids or anyone else who's interested in this type of stuff, send the link to them and let them watch it on repeat. All right, so one more. We've got 4. It's looking pretty good, actually. This Seagull Nebula. That's really cool. I can tell you that this little piece of nebula here with this star in it, it looks really cool. I've done one image of this, and it's I made this into some blue color around it with some oxygen around it, and it looks amazing. It looks like a big hand, not a hand, but like a big, I don't know, it's kind of like the Olympic torch almost, like a little ball candle up there at the top. And if you image it and you have enough stacked data to where it looks good, it actually is a pretty cool picture to see. All right, one more. And what's cool about this feature too is you can hit this button over here. It's this detect button and annotate. So if there's anything in this image you want to know what it is, hopefully if we hit annotate, voila, these things just pop up on this screen. So now you know that the little thing that I was talking about, the name of that item, if you wanted to Google it, is SH2-297. And then the little parrot head in the top of the seagull there is SH2-292. And again, star cluster is NGC 2335. There's all kinds of things you can look at and see. But then also it will tell you the star size, I believe. I think it's trying to detect it now. Let's see what happens. It may or may not be able to do it. I don't know. I've never done it while I was live stacking, so I don't know if it works that way or not. Oh, it did it. Yeah, look at there. So it gives you the star size. Look at that. All right. So when you're focusing and you see this star that's right here at 2.45, if I'm correct, I could be totally wrong, but if you're focusing and you want to get that star down to as small as it can go to be as sharp as it can be, if that star can go down to 2.1 or 1.99, it's sharper the smaller it gets, therefore it's better. So right now, if we were to try to focus it manually and take another picture and detect it, if we went down, we're doing good, but if we went up, increased it, then it's getting worse, so to speak. All right, so we have enough images here. We're going to go ahead and save it. Okay, so we've saved it. So that's it for the Seagull Nebula, and now we're going to switch over to the moon to see if it can be seen, and if it's above the tree line, I don't know. So there's no guarantee here, but we're going to, and it probably won't even lock onto it. but we're going to try it. And then if there's anybody in the chat that wants to see Jupiter one last time, you know, say something, and we'll go check it out one more time. But if not, then after this, if it works, then we'll call it a night. But it is trying to capture and lock on to the moon. Let's see what happens. It's probably going to do the same thing Jupiter did and not be able to lock on. So I'm going to let it slew one more time, and then I'm going to stop it after about 2 seconds after it tries to center and validate, so it doesn't move again. Solving, and we're going to stop it right there, so it still should be locked on to the moon. We'll go to a preview here, and let's go to a very, very low number because the moon is very bright and close to us. All right, so let's see what happens here. If it shows up, we'll go to a video mode, and we'll see if we can see the moon. I don't know because the stars are lost, and we might be shooting through the tree, which that might be a pretty cool looking picture anyway. Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's go to video mode, and whoa, look at that. There it is. There's the moon. There she blows. Let's turn the gain down a little bit. And again, we can't get it focused because I'm not out there to do the focusing. Wow, the gain is turned all the way down. That thing is so bright, I can turn the exposure down. I want to go too far. That's, I believe this is the Tycho crater, I believe. And this is the kitty cat. The cat on the moon here. This is the head, and the ears, the body, the feet coming down. That's, I believe, what they call the cat on the moon. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that, but that we'll go with that. But hey, that's not bad. If we had a focuser, we could actually probably see those craters pretty good. This is pretty good here. It's not the best in the world, but kind of give you a little walk around the moon here real quick of what I know. So this is the Alpine mountain range, if I'm looking at that right. And somewhere in here, it's focus is really bad, so sorry about that. But somewhere in here is the Apollo 15 landing site. And you know, these are, if I'm not mistaken, are old lava beds, maybe. I need to learn a little bit more about the moon, that's for sure. And I believe that's the big crater that everybody talks about. But there you have it. There is, that's the moon in all its glory. It's a full moon tonight, and we can't get the whole thing on there because the way that the camera sensor is, we just can't see it. This telescope is not going to allow us to do it. In video mode anyway. If we were on Sharp Cap, we could see it, but we can't see it this way. It just won't allow us to do it. But there you go. There's the moon. Any last shout outs to anything? If you, hey, I want to see Jupiter, or hey, I want to see this, or do you want to see the Orion Nebula one last time? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Because it only takes a second to swing over to the Orion Nebula if you wanted to see it. But if not, we will stop the live stream and go get some supper and go to bed. But I want to take this time to say thank you to everyone who stopped by, and to especially thank everyone who is currently in the chat now watching. It means the world to me, and I really appreciate you being here. And give me, like I say, give me a day to process that data. I'll drop it into the description of the video, it's called the video description, excuse me. So it'll be in the description of the live stream. Just go in there and there'll be a link to my Google Drive. Click on it, and there'll be 2 sets of data. One set of data you can actually manipulate and try to stretch and color yourself, make a picture of it, or there'll be finished pictures in there for you. So just pick whichever one you want, but at least give me a day to get that in there, and it'll be there. But thank you for hanging out with me, and again, thank you to AstralWorldTelescopes.com. They will handle any of your astronomy needs. And no, I'm not a dealer, a seller, or an employee of Astral World Telescopes. I just know that Dan has helped me so much over the years with my astronomy journey, and they have a really cool Astral World TV podcast, if you will. It's a show that they do on YouTube every Wednesday and Friday. And if you want to learn how to do stuff just like this, you should stop by. 8 o'clock on Wednesday, 8 o'clock on Friday. It's usually an hour and a half show. They talk about how to do astrophotography. They talk about equipment. And then every other week, if you join their Discord, you can actually get the link to a Zoom meeting and you hang out. It's like the Hollywood Squares. It's pretty cool. We talk shop, and we learn, because I wouldn't know half of what I know if it wouldn't have been for Astral World Telescopes and Astral World TV. So that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and until next time, I'm wishing you clear skies, and don't forget to go back and watch the video again and again. Show your grandkids, show your friends, show your neighbors. Clear skies, everyone. Thanks. We'll see you.